Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. Yes, it is the Transformers Knight Rider crossover. I have it right here. I'm gonna go through it. This is a very cool toy, celebrating, of course, Transformers, but also the show that starred David Hasselhoff in a very cool teed-up Trans Am that just talked like Mr. Feeney. Now, this is actually lent to me by a friend of mine who got it at a toy show. I haven't received mine yet. I pre-ordered them and they are coming. But since my friend got this, he was nice enough to allow me to review it for you guys. So, cool. So if you're new to the channel, I'm Captain Kyle, welcome aboard. If you're a longtime watcher, thanks for coming back, I appreciate it. All right, let's go through the Knight Industries 2000 version of a Transformer. Be right back. So it's a nice old style Transformers box. Very cool. It's got a window. Woohoo! That's nice. And you can see on the back it has a tech spec. It also shows, you know, the various forms on top. It shows a nice picture on each side of Agent Knight. Not like Agent Meister, but Agent Knight. And his function is preserve human life. Now, this tech spec is in like 5 languages, so it's pretty short. Autobot, Agent Knight is the perfect partner to help protect the innocent, helpless, and powerless from lawless criminals. And it doesn't say it, but who operate above the law. So it's, again, very nice packaging. He's Agent Knight, and we're gonna go through him, transform him, and I'm actually gonna show you a slightly alternate way to have him transform. So that could be fun. So when you take it out, it's, again, nice packaging. It actually reminds me a little bit of the alternator packaging. Of course, it has instructions. It has a shitty piece of paper, which I am not gonna toss out because this is not my toy. So it also has instructions about batteries, which we're gonna talk about in a moment. But were this mine, the shitty piece of paper would be in the garbage right now. But yeah, so it's on this wonderful card that says Knight Rider and has a little collaboration symbol. And if you remove the tape from the back, it actually allows you to re-put it on the card, which I have done. So let's get him out of this plastic prison. Michael, get me out of here. So this has a bunch of neat features that I want to talk about. But first, the car. Not car, the car. The Knight Automated Roving Robot. I would be open to Hasbro doing another one of these with the silver that is K.A.R.R. I mean, the initial episode, he looked exactly like K.I.T.T, but they added silver to him later on. And if you're not familiar with Knight Rider, K.A.R.R is an evil version of K.I.T.T. However, oddly enough, they didn't put a goatee on him. So there he is in his vehicle mode. Very nice. Looks a lot like the car that was gracing our TV screens way back in the day with David Hasselhoff looking in there and saying, "This looks like Darth Vader's bathroom," which I don't know what Darth Vader's bathroom looks like. Probably not quite like the interior of K.I.T.T, because that'd be confusing if you invited Darth Vader into your car and he decided to take a dump in your passenger seat. But yeah, it's a very fine looking sports car. Now, I think the accessories did not come this way initially, but my friend had taken it out of the box. I can't blame him. There are Transformers that it's very hard to not take out of the box before I review them. But there's weapon storage on the bottom here. He's got 2 weapons, this pistol and this rifle. He also has a communicator watch type thing, just like Michael had in the original show. That's what that's supposed to be. It's on his wrist. Something I believe you have to put on, I won't know until I get it, but I'm pretty sure you have to put it on. It comes separately, but when you transform him later, you can just keep it on him, so you don't have to worry about weapon storage. Now, quick roll test, and then we're gonna get into the really fun stuff. And he rolls smooth. And I have to say, when I stopped over my friend's house and picked this up, we watched the first episode, the 2-parter of Knight Rider. And I really like that they switched to the bars when K.I.T.T talked instead of just a flashing light. That was kind of lame. But speaking of electronics, now down here, this is the voice box. He's got a voice box, he's got electronic lights, and this is where the batteries go. Batteries are not included, which is really weird because these are button cell batteries. So that's not something everyone keeps around their house. If they were like AA's, you know, AAA's, I could understand, but usually a lot of these toys, the batteries are included and you pull out a little plastic strip that interrupts the contact so the batteries don't drain and all that stuff. But in this case, you have to put in batteries. So having a small screwdriver, and I'm gonna put a link in the description to the batteries. But let's check out some of this stuff. I love the lights going back and forth. It's perfect. So when you press it, it makes that noise, which is basically when Devin first turned on K.I.T.T, he pressed the buttons, and that's kind of the noise. So it's a nice throwback. When you press it.
Sure this is the right way?
Now you can hopefully hear the voice, because it's pretty loud.
Thank you, sir.
It sounds like it could be William Daniel, the original voice actor, who was also Mr. Feeney. It sounds like it could be him. It's just a little digitized. It's hard to tell. Either that or it's a really good impressionist, but it doesn't always sound like him.
I am the voice of Night Industry 2000's microprocessor, K.I.T.T for easy reference.
Yeah, that could be him. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to tell. The quality of the audio is not super. I mean, it sounds very robotic, but yes, it does have various voices. It's very cool in that way. And it has a light that goes back and forth, just like a Cylon. Yes, I am talking about all kinds of Glenn A. Larson properties today. Of course, to avoid a copyright strike, I'm not going to play the music, so I'm just going to have to do. Hopefully that will not get me a copyright strike. So beautiful car. I understand why in the first episodes there was this. Oh, by the way, if you don't touch it for a while, it will power down to save battery, and K.I.T will sign off. But yeah, I don't blame the guys who wanted to steal this car. I mean, I would love to have a K.I.T in real life. And there are, of course, people who have replica kits, screen-used kits. A lot of the screen-used ones probably got beat up pretty bad. Now, the doors also open. There's not really seats in there, but you can open the doors. They're kind of plugged in, so you kind of got to wiggle it a little bit. But yeah, you can have him with his doors open, which, you know, leaving this car with his driver's side door open is what allowed those criminals to take him for a joyride, but then he regretted it. Yeah, that episode is very fresh in my mind. In vehicle mode, he's about 7 inches long, about 2.5 inches wide, and about 1 3/4 inches tall, if you want all the dimensions. So beautiful car, but let's check out the robot mode. Oh, one more thing before we do that. The headlights, if you press towards the back, very nice feature that they didn't have to do. You can flip them up, and he's got some nice headlights. Nice headlights, K.I.T, you pervert. So a nice additional feature that just definitely adds to the sky. And you just, you know, rub them down to, that didn't sound right. You just slide your finger over to push them back down into place. Now the transformation is actually not that difficult. You basically pull the arms out, flip them like so, and he's armed. I've already opened those, but that's part of the next step. Underneath, for the legs, you flip these open, kind of pop the roof away, and the legs just kind of fold out like so. The feet fold down, you can close the legs up, separate. Now, he's pretty tall, so I'm gonna have to zoom out even more. So the blue here, we pretty much figure it's the fact that David Hasselhoff always wore blue jeans, but it's kind of cool. You do twist at the waist to face the legs in the proper configuration. Now the head is in here, so you flip that out, and then when you put the hood down, well, you should be, sorry, K.I.T. You push down on this section to allow the head to go through, kind of wiggle it down into place, put the back plate down, and this piece that was on the hood kind of pops in.
Hold on, this could be a bit bumpy.
You're telling me. Pops in there, adjust the hands, the arms, because there's a swivel there, and give him his weapons. And obviously the electronics will work in both modes. So there he is as a robot, though he's a little overbalanced apparently. Let's try the spin on the turntable of doom once again, because we want to see all angles of this guy. So one of the bad parts about the placement of that button is as you are transforming it, you are bound to press it. He'll sign off in a moment again. Just want to get everything aligned properly. So he does have a resemblance to Jazz and Prowl. Oh, I almost forgot. He's got toes. That's why he was having such trouble standing. I didn't put his toes out. I actually thought the feet were going to become like seats inside of him. No problem. Sorry to disturb you. I thought that the feet were going to end up being seats inside, but no. This is not like an alternator or a vinyl tech, whichever you prefer. Vinyl techs or die-cast, so that was nice. Height-wise, from doors to feet is about 7 inches, though if you go head to toe, it's like 6 3/4. So he looks good from all angles. We're going to go through the posability in just a moment. I do want to show you, if you don't like the winged look, if you prefer something more like the Jazz look, the Jazz cartoon look rather than the toy look, you can take the doors and kind of turn them in, and that's a whole different look. He doesn't have his wings out. He's not a Red Bull. So Agent Knight, let's check out some posability. And you may have already noticed he does have some ankle swivels. They actually go pretty well. He can do quite the split there. So ankle swivels are good. And of course I have to do the full toes up Jean-Claude Van Damme. And if I move, straighten out the arms there, he can hold himself up, look at him from different angles. Very nice. Kicks forward, good amount, about 90 degrees, not super high. The back kick actually can go a bit higher, though you run into the roof. Side kick, a very nice side kick, like the side kick you had in the show, Michael Knight. Bends at the knee, it's actually a very nice bend. And as far as swiveling though, that is very minor. You can swivel it in, you can swivel it out, posability, but unless you move the leg to the side, you can't really swivel it all the way. So there's a swivel here near the top of his leg, and then if you go to the side, you can swivel it, and that's using the joint. That's where the leg attaches to the hip bone. But if you're pointed to the side, you can swivel all the way around. If you're pointed down, you run into the crotch. And so that doesn't allow you. So you can swivel on either joint, you just need to move it to the side. Now I already kind of showed, because it's part of the transformation, you can twist him at the waist all the way around. The arms go all the way around, and they're on a joint so that they can actually, you can kind of move them down and up a little bit. You can bend at the elbow, there is a swivel. The fists themselves can also twist. There's no articulated fingers, but you can twist, and you can even kind of move them in a bit. It's not really part of the transformation, it's just there. The head can turn all the way around, and so he's very nice for some good posability. Now, on Knight Rider, he never really used guns all that much. Might pick up someone else's gun, but he didn't carry, which was interesting. I guess after getting shot in the face, after pulling your own gun, that might turn you off to it. But he's got two weapons. The head can also tilt, so even though he's kind of bent a little bit forward, he can be looking right at you. But it is a nice toy, definitely a great homage to a great show, even if some of the episodes could be kind of cheesy. I mean, I remember an episode where Michael Knight decided to take a vacation. Where did he go? To a very small town in the middle of nowhere with like 100 people. Who vacations there? You know, really, I'm not vacationing there. And of course, the mayor or somebody was corrupt and running and he got involved, and you know. And who takes their work companion on vacation with them? Poor kid, having to put up with all that. And forget about the bodily fluids that he probably had to get cleaned out of his seats. Sheesh. But here he is, Agent Knight. I think he's a very fine transformer. Again, you can put the wings down and hidden, or you can go with the, he dropped his gun. The gun, you kind of have to push it hard in there. They're not the tightest. Shut up, Logan. You can also do the wing thing, and the wings have a hinge, so you can actually put them quite a bit up if you prefer. I kind of like the hidden wings. I agree with my friend, Scott is his name, who lent me this. So I will probably hide away his wings. But it's nice that you have the option to do that. So there you have him, Agent Knight. Very fun toy. I will put some links in the description in case you want to pick this bad boy up, in case you haven't already pre-ordered him. And again, I accidentally pressed the button, but it is cool. Sometimes it's just car sounds.
This is the right way.
Yes, this is the right way. Jeez. I mean, I imagine he had GPS. He should be able to tell you. But a neat figure. Overall, I like it. I'm looking forward to getting mine. Thanks again to Scott for lending me his so I could show it to you guys. He's going to deactivate in a minute. Probably as soon as I'm saying something important. But yeah, I'm glad. If they hadn't added the electronics, I mean, the electronic box kind of messes with the lines of the car. But if they hadn't added the electronics, and it would just be a black Trans Am that transformed, that, you know, it wouldn't really be as good as it is if it didn't have the electronics. So I'm going to recommend this guy. Give him another spin on the turntable of doom. And
Signing off.
of course, he's signing off. And I hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I enjoy making them, especially when it's something like Knight Rider. And if you're enjoying this content, by all means, feel free to subscribe. That'd be awesome. And while you're mulling this figure over, you can check out another collaboration. It's right over here, which is the G.I. Joe Soundwave crossover. Who doesn't like Soundwave? And we will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.